throughout this whole process. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me at any time. Meg Cleary and I have put together some really fun events for you guys to enjoy within the next couple of weeks, and we hope that these events will allow you to get to know as many brothers as possible, and for us to get to make meaningful relationships with you as well. Another point of contact that you'll have throughout this process is Senior Vice President Assistant Ashley Martin.
I was sophomore pursuing a dual major in Kelly and Spia, and I was part of the Fall 17 Pledge. As you mentioned, I'm the SGTA, which means that I'll be one of your main points of contact throughout the rush process. So I'll be sending you emails, and if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Another point of contact you guys have is the rush committee. And as you notice, we all have yellow name tags. So if you have any questions throughout the process, find someone with a yellow name tag and we'll be able to help you out. Finally, I want to make sure you guys are all signed in. So if you haven't signed in yet, please go to that link and sign in next. Thank you.
In planning the rush process, I really wanted to highlight some key attributes that we hold important here at DSP. While we are a professional fraternity, there are many different things that we find really important, such as community service, diversity, and social activity, along with professionalism. So I hope that throughout these next 2 weeks, these aspects really shine through the events that you guys attend. This semester, our rush theme is Your Spark, Your Story. As you meet our brothers, you'll find that there are many different reasons why we all work in this team, and there are many different ways in which we contribute. But the colliding factor is that since we've all been here, we found a network of people that push us to be our best selves every single day. The brothers that you see sitting up there, standing back there, they're absolutely my home away from home here at IU. All of yours too. So I hope that throughout this rush process, you really get to make some meaningful connections, because DSP truly has something for everyone. And to show you a glimpse of what we're all about, tonight you'll hear from new initiate speakers, from some members of our exec board, faculty, and our loved alumni.
Thank y'all for coming tonight. It's always great, such a great turnout. I was pledge class fall 15. Yeah, so couple survivors, we're doing well, we're thriving. But it's crazy to think that that means I was in your shoes 3 whole years ago. And I can still remember how nervous I was going to my first meet the chapter. Probably the same red face, shaky voice, shaky hands I have now. So now but what's crazy to think about too is that you guys have so much ahead of you, and I really want you to enjoy this process. And for me, walking in with all those nerves, that's natural, but what I remember more about that night was how excited I was when I walked out. When I left the chapter that night, I had a big, stupid grin on my face, all the way back to McNutt. My cheeks hurt from smiling, I kept thinking about all the brothers I had met, and I had this overwhelming sense of comfort and confidence, knowing that this felt right. This felt like where I needed to stand up, and it was what I wanted. And so I hope tonight that no matter how many nerves or what you came in feeling, that you'll leave feeling excited and energized for the next 2 weeks, because Julie and Ashley have planned a really great rush process for you. And so when we think about going into the rush, one piece of advice I'd offer you, it's really simple, just to relax and be yourself. And I know that's so much easier said than done, but I promise that's the best strategy that you all can take. Here in DSP, we're really proud of who we are. That's important to us. And I think at the end of the day, it's great to see all the accomplishments you've made and your extracurricular involvements, but we're not recruiters. We're your potential brothers. We're your potential family here at IU. We need to get to know you. We want to know your spark, your story. And I think you'll see that every brother has that. And each of you already have that. You've already made amazing accomplishments and great grades, and you're going to have a great career. And we can help you get to that career, but so can any other business community. That's not what makes DSP special. What makes DSP special are all those people in the back.
Woo!
All of those And there provides that support system that we can offer. I think that's the most special thing we have. Because that's the environment and the place where you can really grow in every aspect. And one of the kinds of leadership principles I've been trying to embody as president is from a quote that says, when you're made a leader, you're not given a crown, you're given the responsibility to bring out the best in others and create an environment where that can emerge. And so I hope you can see that that's an environment we've been all fortunate to grow up in, and it's one that you can have too. And so being yourself, like I said, we want to see your story. What are you passionate about? And I think kind of a funny way for you to see our take on that is from our name tags tonight. You can see that we're all proud of what sparks us and what our interests are. It was funny, I was looking at this earlier, ranges from dogs, dance, The Office, to things like slam poetry and military history. Someone put the 1960s. I don't know what that means, but sounds cool. There's also competitive Super Smash and conspiracy theory. So I think you'll have a lot of interesting conversations tonight, and I'll let you discover the rest of those. And so I think sometimes it's hard for us to say, yeah, this is what I'm proud of, and stick up for that. I know it was tough for me too at first, but that's what DSP is for, and that's what finding a support group like this is for. So I know when I came in, I'm from Connecticut. Any East Coasters in here? I came in, we joined 3 people max, I think, including a roommate who I'd never met. So those first couple weeks in Kelly for me did not recognize the soul. I couldn't fathom why I picked such a big school where you take a bus to get to class, the Midwest where I've never been. But there's something a tour guide told me that kind of kept me optimistic and still resonates, and it's that you can't make a small school feel big, but you can make a big school feel small. And that's what DSP did for me, and I know it's what it can do for all of you. And so having that support environment, I think, is really key in growing that. And we're not here to mold you into something different or something better, because you're already great. We're here to just elevate and amplify everything you guys have to offer. So maybe DSP for you will give you the confidence to go for that dream job. Or maybe it'll bring you to the realization that you are a leader and you belong up here in your place. So I hope that tonight we can really get rid of some of those nerves and get excited for Rush, because I'm really excited to see where this takes all of you, because I think we'll have great potential. So please feel free to come to me at any point. I'd be happy to meet all of you. So thank you and best of luck.
Hi everyone, Sun gave me a super hard speech to follow up, so thanks Sun. But I'm a proud member of the Fall 16 Pledge Class. Good job, team. I'll be serving as the Vice President of Pledge Education for the Fall 18 semester. Before I get into what exactly that role is and what my role is for all of you, I'd like to talk a little bit more about what DSP has done for me and what it means to me. How many of you have heard of the expression, you are an average of the 5 people you spend the most time with? Yeah. Okay, a couple of you, yeah, it's great. So this has been a guiding philosophy for me throughout college, and it will be for the rest of my life. It doesn't matter what type of day you've had, it doesn't matter how well you do on that test. The only thing you're ever going to remember is the people you decided to be with on that day, and how they made you feel, and how they motivate you to do better the next time. Because at DSP, I've become an average of 140 of the most caring, inspiring, kick-ass people that IU has to offer. The people here are molding me into a more confident person, a more caring person, a more empathetic person. And my brothers are the ones that have inspired me to be the best version of myself possible. Sun talked about, hey, we're actually molding you to something different. We're trying to mold you to the best version of yourself that you can be, and DSP will do that. So I did pledge into my sophomore year, totally normal, totally okay. And I remember driving back to IU to start my sophomore year. Spoiler alert, I cried essentially the entire way here. I wasn't ready to be back at IU. I missed my high school friends, I missed my family, I missed being at home because IU was not that for me. Flash forward to the end of my sophomore year, after pledging, after meeting the people in this room. Spoiler alert, I cried again. I'm a crier, but yeah, this time was on the way back home. I wasn't ready to leave IU. I wasn't ready to leave my brothers. I wasn't ready to leave the sense of community that DSP found for me. And it was just such a difference, I can't even verbalize it. So if you guys are thinking, damn, she cries a lot. Yeah, I do. I literally cried during that Rush video. It's okay. But the really point I'm trying to convey to all of you is that IU is an amazing place, but it's an even better place when you have the people around it that inspire you to be the best version of yourself. Now, talking a little bit more about Pledgeship and what exactly that entails. Pledgeship is a basic song, and we like to think about it as about a 300-hour course in terms of how time-intensive it is. We've had plenty of brothers pledge while doing I-Corps even, while being a part of an IU sports team, while being first semester freshmen, all the way to being in 3 or 4 organizations.
So yes, it is time intensive, but you do have support systems such as myself and your pledge class to help you through that. So if it is something you're interested in, don't let time be the things that stop you. Please talk to other brothers and see how they manage to do it as well. Thank you all for your time. I really appreciate coming up here and being able to speak to you, and looking forward to what the future holds for you. DSP is truly the organization that's going to spark your story, spark your college experience, and spark the inner desire to be the best version of yourselves as possible. Thanks.
Hi everyone, as Julia said, I'm Lily Breedlove and I will be the Vice President of Community Service for this fall semester. I am from Carmel, Indiana, studying marketing, studying marketing, business analytics, and Spanish, and I'm from the Fall 17 Pledge Club. So with community service being one of our 4 pillars, we work really hard to make sure our brothers have opportunities to serve in both the IU and Bloomington communities as a brotherhood. And we work with so many different organizations in making sure that we can leave that mark in our community around us and making something bigger than just our chapter. For example, every spring semester we host an American Cancer Society Gala, which is our biggest philanthropy of the year, and we always look forward to it. I know I was super excited to attend my first spring gala this past semester, and it was so cool to hear from brothers and their experiences, Kelly alum and faculty, cancer survivors, and just being surrounded by a brotherhood we hear so much about an amazing organization. We were also able to raise an insane amount of money of $11,000, making us a top 10 fundraiser. And we hope to reach that goal this next spring semester. However, throughout the fall, we are also planning to spread the love through many different organizations, such as Habitat for Humanity, the Ronald McDonald House, and the National Association for Mental Illness. And one that I'm extremely passionate about, that I'm super excited to do this November, is IUDM, Indiana University Dance Marathon, in support of Riley Children's Hospital in Indianapolis, Indiana. And we have actually already doubled our numbers from last year in brothers participating, which means doubling our fundraising goals. And we have so many more brothers who are looking to join us, and hopefully some of you will join us in November in making sure that we can raise all that money for the kids. And whether the brothers are dancing or not, they're always supporting us, whether it's helping us fundraise or actually donating to our pages, or driving McDonald's breakfast sandwiches to us at 3 a.m. when morale is low and we have 5 more hours to go. Also, when I rushed DSP in the fall, I was so nervous, and I was really, really excited about DSP in general because I could tell that this brotherhood was full of amazing people who genuinely care about serving others. I have a group of brothers behind me who, like Rhea said, are pushing me to be the best version of myself, and I could not imagine being in any other organization. It really catapulted my experience at IU, and I love serving our community alongside them, and I would not imagine it any other way. I know we're going to do some amazing things this semester, and I hope you guys want to be part of it too. So please feel free to come talk to me after, and I hope you guys enjoy meeting the rest of our chapter. Thank you.
Alright. Good evening, everyone. My name is Colin Cunningham, and I'm your Vice President of Social Activities for this fall semester at Delta Sigma Phi. I know what you guys are all thinking. What does a business fraternity need a Vice President of Social Activities for? Don't you guys just fix each other's resumes, study, and do homework all the time? I know, I did. I thought the same thing when I was in your guys' shoes 2 years ago. But I can happily tell you now that that's not the case. In fact, brotherhood is one of the 4 pillars of our fraternity that we really pride ourselves in with the unbreakable bonds that brothers are able to develop both inside and outside the classroom. But to tell you a little bit more about what I do in my role as the Vice President of Social Activities, one of the biggest projects that I get to work on for the fall is our fall formal in St. Louis this year, which I am super excited about. Formal is an incredible event where you get to not only meet some brothers that you may not have the opportunity of meeting, but you also get to explore a whole new city all at the same time. We also get to do a whole bunch of other events like trips to Griffith Lake, where we go kayaking, swimming, we'll use boating, all that fun outdoorsy stuff, and indoor stuff too if you're not into that outdoor stuff. So many fun things, you name it, we have it. And all of these events are just so much fun, and we get to organize all of them through me and my social committee, but I also have the privilege of working with our Director of Athletics, Horace, somewhere up there, yeah. And our Director of Brotherhood, Jacob, as well. Now, all these events and kind of fun things are really fun, and Sorry, I'm still puzzling 4 times. Super exciting, but my focus for this semester really kind of lies in those small things that you can only really get in between and within all these larger scale events. And that's really where the core and crux of our brotherhood and development kind of lies. Those little things contribute to so much that you can't really tell when they're happening. But when you get to that farther on point, when you become a junior, a senior, when you're 5 years outside of school, you really look back on those moments and you can tell that those little moments are what make your experience that much more special here at USP. Some of my favorite memories include just late night roof talks with some of my friends. I remember we had a best Disney movie bracket debate on a road trip to Cornwall. Monsters Inc. But all of these things, just all these small things, contribute to so much more than who you are yourself. And I can tell you guys honestly that everything I've had in those small little moments have made my experience at DSP just that much greater. And all of those small things, with that being said, I want you guys to kind of give you this advice that when those moments come, and if you choose to join us this fall, to take those moments and to acknowledge them and appreciate those moments, because those little tiny moments that go insignificant and you overlook them at the time contribute to so much more. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Danya. Disclaimer, my voice is kind of going away. I've had the flu for the past week. Yes, I'm the type of person that gets the flu in the middle of the summer. But that's not diverse. I studied both marketing and business analytics with a minor in fashion merchandising. I am a member of the Spring 17 Pledge Club. Alright, and yeah, so I want to talk a little bit about why I decided to join DSB. So as many of you guys in this room probably are freshmen, and when I started my freshman year, I tried to get as involved in various organizations as possible. And in the good spirit of Kelly, a lot of these organizations require networking events, right? And we're going to make you do that tonight as well. However, with these networking events, I was constantly being asked one question that made me want to crawl out of my skin. What are you? And so I would hastily reply every single time. Both of my parents are Mexican, but I was born in the U.S. That's every single time that I was asked. So when I came to DSP, I got really excited about meeting the chapter and listening to all the speakers. Then I went to the networking event, and the first person I start talking to, I hear, "What are you?" And so then I immediately answer with my classic response, right? But I didn't listen to him. What he actually asked me was, "What are you interested in?" He just stared at me like, "Are you interested in being on your Mexican friend?" So I had to learn that that wasn't what they cared about me. That wasn't what DSP wanted to know about me. They wanted to know about my diversity of thought, my diversity of knowledge. What was it that I brought to the table, and what made me unique? So that's actually what even led me to the position that I am in today. It made me want to be Vice President of Diversity because I wanted to instill this idea in all of our brothers that it's okay to be diverse, it's okay to be different, and we wanted to celebrate it. So for the semester, just to let you know a little bit what it is that I have planned, I wanted to focus a lot on learning by discussion, learning from peers, learning from experts, but also forming your own opinions off of the information that you have. So I decided to implement current event discussions that will be about every other week, in which we just talk about what's going on in the news. A lot of our information that we get is from Twitter or Facebook, where fake news is very prevalent. So I wanted our brothers to be as educated on diversity topics, to learn about what it is that they believe from not just these fake news outlets, but from within themselves. A lot of other events that I have planned include a talk with Professor Lopez on the current immigration issues that we have going on at the border, or diversity topics on gender and sexuality, religion. All of these topics just making our brothers not only closer in understanding what it is about each other, but also forming us as a more united front to not only invite you guys into our family, but to embrace all of your differences that make you beautiful and unique people. So I really hope that you love all of our diversity in our fraternity, and please look out, like Sutton said, on our name tags to learn about why it is that we are all diverse. I have YouTube makeup tutorials, so if you want to talk to me about that, come and see me after chapter. But just make all these connections and foster all these new connections, which is truly amazing when you meet people here. Thank you.
See that piece of aluminum up there? That's called a bicycle. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret about that bicycle. It's not gonna pedal itself. My name's Alejandro Miller, Fall 15. Motivated rushies to join our bike team. Little 500 is an amazing experience. I remember the first time I attended the race as a freshman in DSP. Over 100 brothers, friends, and families of our teams flocked to Bill Armstrong Stadium both days to cheer on the men and women's team. It was such an amazing experience, and I knew I wanted to get involved with the race immediately. A race that is arguably one of the largest and most celebrated collegiate traditions.
Now, talking about my year as a freshman, look to the right there. You'll see someone who looks like they're super excited and is randomly holding a bike. But there's a story behind it. When I went to my first little 500, I saw a bunch of balloons going up in the air, thousands of people all in one stadium, and then I looked to my right and I saw that Schwinn bicycle was randomly set up with a tent. So I walked over and they were having a bicycle competition. So I was like, all right, I don't know what I'm doing. A bunch of brothers that were with me were like, just do it. So I was like, all right, I'll do it. So I'm like, okay, get on the bike, go as fast as you can for 10 seconds, and then we're going to record your speed. At the end of the 2-day competition, I ended up winning on the girls' side, and I got a bike. Little did I know that I even knew how to ride a bike. So I decided, you know what? Let's go on a whim, and I posted on Instagram because I was like, I want a bike, you know? And on that, I actually found out that I put, maybe I'll be a future rider. And here I am today as a senior saying that I competed the Little 500 twice, and I cannot wait to lead the team this year as a senior.
There's no small time commitment. We spend hours a day biking across Monroe and Brown County, and in the winter, we're biking indoors. However, it's all worth it. Come April, we're on the track, the choir's singing, and the checkered flag starts to race. It's an opportunity that only 250 riders each year have the opportunity to compete in. I can already feel my heart beating fast.
So one of the things he touched on was about training. And I can say from my experience, last year with Tenny right here, we got the experience to be in Bloomington on spring break. Yeah! But actually, we had an opportunity to really explore Bloomington and grow as a team, getting to kind of go anywhere we wanted with no lines. People had us dog sit because, hey, they want a vacation, so we got to have a dog around. And you know what? Overall, Bloomington became our oyster, and honestly, it's one of the coolest experiences you can have.
Now, as brothers, we're a close group, but as teammates, you get a lot closer. Imagine being on a 6-hour bike ride with only 6 other people to talk to. You start to learn a lot about each other. We are a family within a family, and we have a camaraderie that pushes you when your legs are sore and your body hurts.
Now, to push more on that, I had the opportunity in my sophomore year. It was spring break. I didn't really know anyone on my team because on a whim, I decided to join, right? There was a senior in DSP that I had said maybe 2 words to, and she came up to me and said, hey, want to come to Florida with me to my grandparents' place and bike all week? And I was like, oh my God, she's trusting you to be her grandparents? I had no idea what I was expecting, but I ended up becoming super close with her, and I can tell you I would have never gotten to know her
as a senior within those last 2 months before she left if I didn't get the opportunity to be on the bike team. So don't ever think you won't get the opportunity to meet people you won't get to meet, because with biking, it becomes a smaller family.
Every Meet the Chapter, we hear them say, people say they're interested in biking, but then they have these excuses. Not athletic. Never played a sport in high school. Don't know how to ride a bike. We don't care. We just want motivated, interested rushies, and we will give you the material to be great.
And as he stated, we just want people who will go on a whim like I did, try to randomly win a bike, and who are ready to come out and do everything they can to just have fun. Now, as we like to say in the Little 500, good luck and Godspeed.
Hi everyone, I'm Molly Thomas from St. Louis.
Hi everyone, my name is Alexis Sanchez, I'm a junior, and we're both from the spring 2018.
We are the current new initiates and wanted to share our story. So I came to IU just a year ago, and just like you guys, I was so excited, but I was also so nervous for what was ahead. My first semester was absolutely amazing. I met so many friends on my floor, but I still didn't have that home away from home feeling that I kept hearing about. I always missed my friends from high school and my family.
On the other hand, I came in 2016 from San Juan, Puerto Rico, knowing nobody. I miss home every day, call my parents every other weekend, and in the back of my mind when I came to IU for my sophomore year, I know that this had to change for the better, and that rushing DSP would change my life for the better and for the future.
Deciding to rush this fraternity absolutely exceeded my expectations. I felt like I finally found a place where I could literally just be myself. And as cliche as that sounds, I didn't have to feel like I had any pressure to fit this certain mold that DSP was looking for. Because the case is, there really isn't a specific person we're looking for. Basically, through my experiences, I was able to transform myself from a random freshman who decided to go to Meet the Chapter one night, lived in Wilkie, to becoming a professional today. And I say I'm a professional, I'm still just a sophomore, but...
I finally decided to rush DSP actually in my second semester sophomore year. I did not know what to expect. I knew some brothers. I did not know how to interact or be professional. But as the night went on, I felt more comfortable, more relaxed. I saw how each brother was so unique and so happy just to be there for you guys, and for me for that time.
I was also having the same feeling as Rhea. I would go home and I would be excited. I would look at my planner and say, okay, spring break, or not spring break, fall break, I'm excited to go back. Winter break, I'm excited to go back. Finally, after just a few weeks of pledgeship, it was spring break. And suddenly I felt like I didn't want to go back because this was my new home and this was my new family. As sad and sappy as that sounds, these people had my back. Whether we were just studying in SPIA, hanging out, or Alexis literally helping me with every single Spanish assignment. I told her like highlight was what was wrong in red so like I could fix it, and I'd come back and the entire thing is red. All right, thanks.
Yeah, Bobby!
Oh god, that was a good time. However, I'll be honest, as a pledge, I did struggle all my way to our initiation. My mentor, Adam, can surely attest to this, and my brothers also. However, I never felt alone. There was always someone there, and even somebody abroad, always there to help you out.
Talking about people helping you out, also throughout pledgeship you get to interview with older brothers. And at first I was so nervous for them because I was like, these people are the coolest people I've ever met. I want to get to know them so bad. And then after my first interview, I realized that they wanted to get to know me as much as I wanted to get to know them. Every single person I met was so diverse, and what I loved about them is that they cared about something that was so specific and so cool, such as like Twilight Zone, or like something completely random like an alien, and I would be able to talk to them for an hour and love them. That's the thing about DSP. You're not going to find people that simply want to talk about Excel. Actually, you probably might. I don't want to talk about Excel, but you're going to find people that truly value you for you, and that's really all that matters.
My first experience with a DSP alumni was actually during Meet the Chapter. I had the opportunity to meet Eduarda. I did not know her at all. We started talking about her experience as a Latina at IU from DSP, coming from Miami. But we ended up talking about football, music, our family, our culture. And literally for those 5 to 10 minutes, I never felt that I left Puerto Rico.
My sparking story, not as cool as
that? Was it my birthday last April? I was having a super stressful day. I had a case competition with the team. I had so many meetings. I had classes I definitely didn't want to go to on my birthday. And one of my best friends in my pledge class said, hey, let me pick you up. We'll get dinner after the case comp. And I was like, okay, you're right, I'm starving. Okay. I get in the car, I'm really stressed. I'm still in like this business outfit, not this one, but like a business outfit. I get in the car, she takes me to her apartment, surprises me with all of my best friends in the city, my favorite food, my favorite cake. I felt that that small moment was such a big moment for me as an individual. Not only did I feel so valued, I also felt like this was actually a family, as it did feel like a family birthday party, as good as that sounds. But that's the truth about this place. Like, these people really care about you no matter what, and they'll always have your back. If you have one bad day, they can tell and understand, and that's where they're your new best friends and your family.
The moment I knew I found my second home away from home, it was when I met my mentor Adam. He immediately reminded me of my best friend from back home, but the American version, obviously. He had such a packed schedule, changing from majors, but you rest assured that he was always there 24/7. It didn't matter if I called him at 2 in the morning or 10 a.m. It felt like I had a new family immediately. These are just some of the examples of our pledgeship and the amazing time we had thus far in our college careers. And we're so excited for what is ahead of us. I know that a lot of you are nervous. I was there literally last semester for the first time. But just be yourself, be confident, and rest assured you're going to meet a lot of brothers, a lot in the fraternity as well. And it's so exciting, and thank you for coming.
And I wish you guys the best of luck. I seriously wish you guys the best of luck, and I'm not saying that just within Rush. Throughout your entire time here at IU and beyond, this school has so many things to offer, and whether it's DSP, another organization within Kelly, a sport, a club, whatever you decide to pursue, I hope that you truly feel valued and you truly feel like you can be yourself. Because it's a good feeling and it's hard to come by. Thank you.
So I'm Sean, I'm a senior here at IU, and I was a member of the fall 2016 pledge class. So when I sat down to think about what I was going to talk about today, I tried to think about how I felt when I was in your shoes 4 semesters ago. And I remember how excited I felt, knowing that I could be looking at the next 3 years of my life right in front of me. But I also remember how intimidating that felt. I remember seeing all the brothers in their really nice suits with their great section. Yeah, I remember seeing all these brothers with super nice suits, the great internships, and I remember thinking that they had it all together. So I thought about my perspective on that had changed, and if there's one takeaway I want you guys to have today, it's this. We definitely don't have it all together. We don't even have most of it together. People like to see Kelly as this like business person factory where you come in as a young freshman and then you're just spit out into the working world as a young professional, ready to handle all the challenges life's about to throw at you. And that's not what's going to happen. There's always going to be challenges. You guys are going to have to find yourself making a lot of tough decisions over the next few years. Things like which career path to take, which job to take, even where to live, and the more important things like friendships, relationships, and how you can bring your own individuality to whichever path you decide to choose. That's not going to change whether or not you're an expert in accounting and finance or whatever else. But there is one thing that's within your control, and that's the environment and the support system that you choose to surround yourself with. And for me, that's always been DSP. So DSP is an incredible organization, and it's true, if you're accepted in a few weeks, you're going to find yourself surrounded by brothers that are in some of the best organizations at IU. You'll suddenly find that you have half a dozen friends in all of your classes ready to study with you. You'll get professional help. You'll become an expert at building resumes, navigating career affairs, and securing the internship or the job that you want. But that's not why I'm up here encouraging you to join DSP, because the truth is, we don't have a monopoly on teaching great business skills. You guys can get that at AK Psi or PGN or pretty much any other organization. You can really get that at any organization at IU. But what makes DSP really special is that it allows you to, as we like to say, be unashamedly yourself. So there's often a lot of pressure out there to do things the right way. And if you haven't already figured it out, there really isn't a right way to go about doing anything. Every single brother that's in the audience today is unique. And we embrace that because we understand that's exactly what makes us better. You can be you. Now, there's never going to be any pressure to be anything other than your true self. We'll make sure that you can be the best version of whoever that may be. Because again, that is what makes us better. We want you guys to develop into great young professionals. We're going to help you every step I know that during my time at DSP, I've always felt myself lifted up and supported by the people in this organization. Because DSP isn't just a business fraternity, it's a support system. The same people that I study with during the week are the same ones that have driven in my house at 1 a.m. if I ever just needed someone to talk to. The same people that are helping me prep for my career fairs are the same ones that I just traveled with to Gatlinburg, Tennessee for a week-long spring break trip last year. And the same people I really met 1 year earlier are the same people that I just spent an entire semester traveling the world with. Yeah. I've watched some of my closest friends rise from clueless underclassmen to extremely accomplished business people and students. But again, that's not why I'm encouraging you to join DSP, because that doesn't really matter. 10 years from now, I'm not going to remember how high their GPAs were. I definitely won't remember the organizations they were in. I'm not going to remember any of the businessy stuff that they were doing, but I will remember how they made me feel during my time at IU. You see, I didn't join DSP until I was a sophomore, so I remember a time when IU didn't always feel like home to me. I'm not in Kelly, I'm an economics major in the liberal arts and management program. Yup. So I remember a time where I didn't really know what I wanted to do for my career. I didn't really have any organizations that mattered to me, and I didn't really feel like I'd surrounded myself with a great support system yet. But I wouldn't change any of that for anything, because it made me realize how rare and special it is to find an organization like DSP. I found people that lifted me up, people that supported me, and people that made me realize everything that I was capable of. I've made some of the best friends that I've ever known, and it's really been one of the best experiences of my college career. So remember, you don't have to have everything figured out yet. You'll start to get some clarity as time goes on, and that might happen as a member of Delta Sigma Pi, or it might happen as a member of some other organization. But if you want to be a part of an organization that allows you to be unashamedly yourself, in a place that I've been happy to call home for the past several years, I really do encourage you guys to stick around, come to future Rush events, and consider becoming a member of Delta Sigma Pi.
How's everyone doing tonight? I'm having some major deja vu right now, because exactly 2 years ago, I was standing down here giving a speech very similarly as the Vice President of Community Service. So it's like really weird to be back in here, but not be a student. So pardon me if I look a little dazed and confused down here. As Julia said, my name is Andrew Stallings, and I graduated from Kelly in May of 2017 with degrees in marketing and professional sales and a minor in Spanish. And now I currently work in Indianapolis, Indiana as a dance marathon coordinator with Riley Children's Foundation. I love to hear the love there because it's honestly the coolest job that you could ever ask for. If anybody is in IUDM, yes. Basically, dance marathon is my full-time job. So I can't ask for more than to do something that gives me such fulfillment, such purpose in life, and also allows me to apply a lot of the skills that I learned here in DSP. So when I started to think about where I wanted to go with this speech, I started to recall a lot of the marketing that had gone on leading up to this event. If you guys follow on Instagram and Facebook, you probably saw the campaign about what did DSP spark within you. So seeing everybody else's interests and their new developments within themselves brought about by DSP, I started to take a look and kind of think in myself, what did DSP bring about me? And I came up with 3 main things that DSP brought out of me. It brought me a new sense of confidence, it brought me a community and camaraderie, and it also brought me courage. So coming in, I rushed as a sophomore back in spring 15. Woo! They're all graduated. So. I love the support though, whoever that was. I had done a lot of organization hopping. I was in a couple of scholars programs. I tutored at a local elementary here. I was in IUDM, I was in Hutton, I was in doing everything, had my hand in every single jar. But I didn't find an organization that quite gave me the sense of fulfillment and gave me everything that I needed out of an organization within one place. And so I decided as a sophomore my spring year to come out and rush. I had a friend from high school who was actually the pledge ed that semester,
and she encouraged me to come out. She had told me before, and I kind of brushed it off a couple times. But I decided to finally give it a try and see what it was all about. And so I came out, ended up actually loving the Rush process, falling in love with this organization. And what it gave me, going through Rush and both going through Predship, was a sense of confidence in this is where I'm supposed to be. Knowing that not only DSP, but the path that I had chosen to take throughout college was one that will lead me to where I wanted to go in life. I found an organization that not only aligned with my personal goals, but my professional goals, and gave me everything that I really needed out of an organization. In addition to really giving me some firm foundation to stand upon, it also gave me a super strong support system. So when I talk about camaraderie and community, I mean it. The people that you're looking at right now, these people are going to be your brothers someday. These people are going to be the people who are going to be in your wedding. These people are the people who are going to be the godparents of your children. These people are the people that you're going to come to in the middle of the night when you need a friend or a shoulder to cry on. I found every single one of those all within DSP. And it's honestly awesome because some of my best friends to this day, even 2 years removed from IU, are people that I met within this organization. About a month ago, actually, my pledge class every summer tries to get together still. So we all met together and spent a weekend at my family's house, and people had driven 5-6 hours to come in just for the weekend, just to get to see some of their friends. So you really do build those connections here that carry on way beyond the halls of Kelly, way beyond the time here at IU. And lastly, it really gave me a great sense of courage. Following my graduation, I took the typical Kelly route and went to work in corporate America. I worked for a great marketing job. I was a marketing technologist for an industrial manufacturer outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. Perfect job, super cush. It was a rotational program, exactly what I was looking for, you know? Or at least that's what I thought I was supposed to be looking for, you know? It would check all the boxes from the UCSO, it checked all the boxes from what all my friends were doing. So I was like, this is where I'm supposed to be, right? As time went on, I started to realize that I wasn't quite getting the same feeling about my job that I had about my feelings in time at IU. And so I knew that there was something wrong there. So I started to reach out to my pledge class, to some older mentors here, and kind of figure out what is it that I'm missing within my life? What am I not doing now that I was doing back in school? And it really came back to my love of philanthropy. So I figured out, it's funny how things work out like this, but Riley Children's Foundation actually had an opening position. It was a position that I had applied for twice previously, never made it to final round interviews. And so I was like, do I do it again or not? And I really had the community and the support system here to be able to give me the courage to throw my hat in the ring. I didn't have the experience that necessarily required on their resumes. I wasn't local, which is something else that people are looking for around here. And I was, basically, I didn't think I was a good candidate. But after talking to a lot of people, I realized that that was where I needed to be and what I needed to try to do. So I reached out to my brothers who helped me polish up my resume, helped me go through a lot of interview skills, things that I hadn't done in a few years, to be able to make myself the most competitive candidate that I could possibly be. And so a few months after I submitted my resume, I ended up getting the job, which is why but getting a job in nonprofit is scary when you come from corporate America. It equates to a 25% pay cut and spending your entire savings to move back to the Midwest and leave a job that you knew you had security in for something that's so uncertain. And so having that support system that was able to sit there and say, you got this. And you know what, if you don't got this, you have us to fall back on. I had people who looked out for jobs that could be backups if mine didn't happen to work. I had people who offered to let me sleep on their couch if I needed to, and I didn't have the money to have an apartment for the first couple weeks. And that's the kind of organization that DSP just is. I haven't found anything else like it in my lifetime, and I hope that this organization stays as good as it is now moving forward.
I am so jealous of all of you guys sitting here right now that you guys get to experience this for the first time. I wish I was going back here, especially for the freshmen, for 4 more years. But make the most of it. Really enjoy this, not only this rush experience, but your collegiate experience. As Sean said, be unapologetically yourself. I think that is one of the best things that you can do throughout your college experience. It really teaches you what it means to be yourself and what it means to stand on your own 2 feet. And then also, when you go on throughout this rush process, make sure that you are making those connections valuable. Whether you end up being in this organization or not, if you look around, some of these people are going to be in your pledge class, and the people who aren't are going to be your friends. It's a great opportunity to kind of make that support system, whether you find it here or find it in another organization. I know as when I was there, and it's still true today, that most of the people who are in DSP are not just in DSP. So whether you make that connection for this organization or to go into somewhere else, go for it. Shake hands, make lots of conversations. I'm so jealous of all you guys. You're going to have a great time. I'll be outside for a little bit if anybody has questions, but thank you so much for all coming out.
Hi everybody, I'm Jeanette Heidewald. I teach C205 Business Communication Honors. I see a lot of my alumni in here too, which is exciting, and some current students too. And the class that goes to Germany. And I have been a Delta Sigma Pi advisor for less time than the other 2 advisors, but I will tell you that we all 3 have been teaching at Kelly longer than you've been alive. I have to tell you that one of the early memories that I had teaching at Kelly is learning about what are the students doing when they're not in class. And some of the most standout students in my classes historically have been Delta Sigma Pi brothers. So excited to be here and to be part of Delta Sigma Pi. In 2013, my son graduated from Kelly, and he is a Delta Sigma Pi brother. And I waited until he graduated until I became an advisor because I did not want to know everything he was doing in college. But I can tell you the incredible reputation that I know of Delta Sigma Pi, but I've also watched personally the impact that the Brotherhood had on his life. And he still, like Andrew, my son Derek, he had an incredible time in college, largely due to the Brotherhood of Delta Sigma Pi. But he not only had a really good social experience, he did better in his classes because of his Delta Sigma Phi brothers. His freshman year, he failed A100. Woo! And then he joined Delta Sigma Pi and he passed A100. Watched his grades get better and better. He actually had an incredible time. He just got back from, he lives in Austin, Texas, but he just got back from a trip to Minneapolis where he just hung out with more Delta Sigma Pi brothers. They even went a couple of years ago to Oktoberfest in Munich together, and they're still all hanging out. So, you guys are in the right place. Captain Blast.
I can't believe they let you go to Germany and they won't let me leave my house. Yeah. I teach A201 and A202 online. Woo! And you guys look fabulous. They told me it was professional dress, and for me now that means yoga pants and a t-shirt and my UGG slippers. So, I'm kind of stepping it up here. Now, it's hard to believe I have a stylist, right? Anybody in here go to a really large high school? Oh my goodness. Okay, what are some numbers here? What was your graduating class?
1,500.
1,500. Do I have there is 1,500? Who said 1,500 class? No? Okay, now nobody's going to admit to it. How many? 1,500. Did you know everybody?
No, you still don't know people on like graduation.
It's like, oh, I've been to school with those people. Excellent. Yeah, there were 44 in my high school graduating class. And most of them are not in jail, which is really awesome. You know, when you come to IU, it's a gigantic campus down here at Bloomington. It's like 40,000 people, right? It's really can be intimidating if you went to a small school like I did, or even if you went to a big school. Now it's like unbelievably huge. And so you always have to find a way to make where you are manageable, right? It's not like you're best buddies with 1,500 students, right? Okay, my finest evidently. So you're at IU, there are 40,000 people. So here's how I like to think about it. Think of the Bloomington campus as your state. It's big. There's cool parts to it. You can go to different parts of it. But you live in your city, which is Kelly. And Kelly's a great city, you know, and we like it. But again, you don't know everybody in your city or your town. So now it's time to find your neighborhood, right? And when you find your neighborhood, then you find the place where, you know, you have people you can rely on that will help you, that will have backyard barbecues and invite you over, who like you just the way you are because you're already fabulous. And so whether you choose Delta Sigma Pi or you decide to be involved in somewhere else, find your neighborhood. And we really, really hope that you like Alex.
Okay, I'm not going to take much of your time. I only have one thing to say, although it is sort of long. But I'm telling you this from the heart. And I need your help in saying this. So let me just call on Ran, I could call on any of you, all of you for that matter. But let me ask Aaron. Aaron, can you come down? Please. Yes. And we also get Maddie. Come on down, Maddie. Yay! Yay! Thank you. Aaron, thank you. And here's the story told. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I mean, you guys are essential. All of you. Because you're what's fresh. You don't know how fine Delta Sigma. Actually, you do know because you've heard it time and time again how fine Delta Sigma Pi is. But it really depends on you, your fresh blood, and your fresh insights. And I can tell you what you probably already know, that if you don't join Delta Sigma Pi 10 years from now, you'll be fine. I mean, hey, you are fine now, so you don't need to join anything. But do join, I'm looking ahead 10 years from now, but if you do join Delta Sigma Pi, and in the story I'm going to use Maddie's name and Aaron's name, but you can take their names out and put your name in. We need you in Delta Sigma Pi. If you do join Delta Sigma Pi 10 years from now, people are not going to call you Aaron. Nobody will know you as Aaron. And they will not know you as Maddie, and they will not know you as you. Okay? 10 years from now, because you are in Delta Sigma Pi, everyone will know you as Boss! Woo!